You ever get that feeling like something's just off about someone? Maybe it's the way they smile at your failures, or how they twist words to make you doubt your own reality. Here is the hard truth. Some people aren't just difficult. They're dangerous. They don't argue. They manipulate. They don't make mistakes. They blame. And they don't just cause chaos. They enjoy it. Now, before you start side-eyeing everyone in your life, let's get one thing straight. We're not here to spread paranoia. We're here to sharpen your instincts. The Stoics believed that true wisdom lies in perception, the ability to see people for who they really are, not who they pretend to be. And when it comes to identifying evil, perception is your first line of defense. So today, we're diving into 5 unmistakable signs that you're dealing with an evil person. By the end of this video, you'll not only know how to spot them, but you'll also have practical Stoic strategies to protect yourself without losing your peace of mind. And hey, if you find this eye-opening, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. It's free, it helps the channel, and it ensures you won't miss our bonus section at the end, a powerful Stoic technique for setting boundaries with toxic people. Ready? Let's uncover the truth. 1. Charming and charismatic. There's something magnetic about charming people. You know the type, the ones who glide into a room with effortless ease, making everyone feel like they're the most important person in the world. It feels amazing, like a warm, welcoming embrace for your soul. But here's the catch. Some people use charm not as a reflection of their character, but as a tool of manipulation. At first, everything seems great. They shower you with attention, ask all the right questions, and seem genuinely interested in your thoughts, dreams, and even the tiny, ridiculous details of your day. But the Stoics remind us of a crucial truth. Appearances can be deceiving. Marcus Aurelius warned that we should judge people not by their words, but by their actions over time. And over time, small cracks begin to show. Maybe they always steer conversations back to themselves, cutting you off mid-sentence to tell a more interesting version of whatever story you were trying to share. Maybe they subtly put others down in a way that seems harmless, until you realize it's a pattern. And maybe, just maybe, you start to notice that their kindness isn't consistent. It's strategic. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine you're at a family gathering, and a cousin you don't see often is there. Let's call him Alex. From the moment he arrives, he's the life of the party. He remembers everyone's name, tells hilarious stories, and makes each person feel like they're the star of the moment. It's impressive as the evening goes on, though you notice something strange. When others share something meaningful, Alex doesn't seem to engage. He nods, gives a quick "that's great," and moves on. Then, when the attention isn't on him, his energy shifts. He zones out or even interrupts to redirect the focus back to himself. Later, when one of your relatives expresses something emotional, maybe talking about a difficult time they're going through, Alex barely acknowledges it, offering a dismissive, "Oh, that sucks," before cracking a joke to lighten the mood. At first, you tell yourself he's just a light-hearted guy. But then you start connecting the dots. He never truly listens. He isn't interested in anyone unless they're boosting his ego. And if he does do something nice, there's always an audience. This isn't just an outgoing personality at play. It's a need for control. The Stoics would urge us to observe without letting emotions cloud our judgment. Epictetus taught that we must see people for who they are, not who we wish them to be. One of the biggest red flags with manipulative charmers is how they handle disappointment. A person with genuine character will respond to setbacks with grace, understanding, and patience. But someone who thrives on superficial charm and control, the moment things don't go their way, their true nature starts to show. They might get passive-aggressive, sulk or guilt-trip those around them. They might lash out in frustration, making it clear that their charm was never about kindness. It was about dominance. This is where Stoicism becomes our greatest tool. The philosophy teaches us the power of iapatheia, not in the sense of apathy, but in the ability to remain undisturbed by external things. When you recognize that someone is using charm as a mask, rather than a reflection of virtue, you gain the ability to detach. Instead of being swept away by their charisma, you can step back and observe. How do they treat people when there's no benefit to them? How do they respond when they aren't the center of attention? Are their acts of kindness consistent? Or do they only appear when it serves their interests? Perhaps the most dangerous trait of such individuals is their lack of empathy. True empathy is the ability to understand and connect with others' emotions. It's what allows us to comfort a friend in pain, celebrate with someone in joy, and build meaningful relationships that extend beyond surface-level interactions. But there are people who lack this fundamental trait, not because they can't feel, but because they don't care. Imagine you've had a horrible week. You finally open up to someone about it, hoping for a little understanding. A good friend might offer support, validation, or even just a simple "that sounds really tough," but instead, the person you confide in brushes it off. "Oh, that's nothing. I've had way worse happen to me," or worse. They mock you for even feeling that way. You walk away from the conversation feeling smaller, dismissed, and maybe even embarrassed that you said anything at all. This isn't an accident. A person who lacks empathy doesn't see vulnerability as an opportunity to connect. They see it as a weakness to exploit or ignore. The Stoics believed in the interconnectedness of humanity. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the idea that we are all part of a larger whole, and that considering the well-being of others is part of our own moral duty. When we come across someone who consistently disregards the feelings of others, it's a clear sign that they lack the virtues Stoicism upholds: wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. So what do we do when we encounter such individuals? First, resist the urge to justify their behavior. Stoicism teaches us to accept reality as it is. A lack of empathy isn't just a personality trait, it's a red flag. Second, protect your energy. You don't need to confront them or call them out dramatically. Instead, practice iapatheia. Don't react emotionally, don't get pulled into their charm, and don't expect them to change. The best way to deal with such people is distance. Finally, trust your instincts. If someone seems too good to be true, they just might be. True character reveals itself over time, in the quiet moments when no one is watching. Pay attention to how they treat people who can't offer them anything. Watch how they handle moments that don't serve them. And above all, stay grounded in your own virtue. The Stoics didn't believe in being suspicious of everyone, but they did believe in seeing the world clearly. And sometimes seeing clearly means recognizing that not all charm is genuine, and not all kindness comes from the heart. 2. Who lacks empathy. There's something deeply unsettling about being around someone who lacks empathy. At first, you might not even notice it. They might seem perfectly fine, friendly even, but as time goes on, something feels off. It's not just that they don't comfort you when you're down, it's that they fail to share in your joy when you're up. When something wonderful happens in your life, they don't celebrate with you. Instead, they downplay it, dismiss it, or worse, act as if it's an inconvenience to them. They might